boom, bada boom, bum, 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 bum. Oh, that is way too big. Why is that way so big? There we go. That's a little less big. Ambignify. Hello, prop wires. Oh, I was going to install that. I should probably do that. Doom, 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 doom. There we go. Starting soon as we finish setting stuff up. Later. Pop out the chat. Welcome, my beautiful viewers. Okay, let's see about installing us some wire assets. You know, wire up our assets. Right? Right? Do 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 do. Wait for our bandwidth to all stabilize somehow. Okay, and where? Asset store, I believe. Open package manager, that works too. My assets. I'm looking at my assets, folks. Wait, where did I see that? Optimize ropes and cables tool. There you are. Ooh, we're gonna test it out. Doom. 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 Import. Import everything. Oh my goodness. Can import tons of stuff here. Let us not do that one though. We don't need yet another scene in here. Boom. Optimize ropes and cables tool. Doom, ba-doom, ba-doom. Hello, everybody. Fix our window a little bit here. There we go. What else we got? Ooh, how's this side look? Maybe scooch this aside a little bit. There we go. Fantastic. Fantastic. Yep, we are doing screen capture. Display capture? Display capture. Okay, let's see. We got like 100 different things here, so let's make sure we have them all in the right spots. We're not overloading. For instance, where is our settlements overlay? Oh, okay, good. No, it looks like we have everything taken care of. For the most part. Let's wait for some more things to load in. Ooh. Oh. That's some pink stuff. We got some pink stuff on the screen here. Ooh, hey, we have another computer to throw at stuff. Headphones. These must be part of the standard screen here. Oh, there we go. Oh, they might be part of the example scenes. How's our hands doing? Hands doing okay tonight? All right. Got some plans tonight. We won't just be playing in Rusty's head, but I really want to try out this plugin. It was recommended on one of the 3D game dev, well, not necessarily 3D, one of the YouTube game dev channels. Oops, are we not hooked up to the right one? We might not be hooked up to the right one. There we go. And make sure all my connections are connected. We use entirely too many of them. Entirely too many of them. There we go. There we go. Gotta make sure everything's connected. Because I had some of the devices, because I was testing out the robot. Can you hear me? Okay, I always gotta make sure that we can actually hear me. I was testing out the robot earlier this month. I know it's the 3rd, but so this weekend I was playing with the robot and getting him up to speed. And while we don't have the robot with us tonight, let's see if I can quickly send this picture through the ether. Let's see which one's better. They're both kind of crummy. It's amazing how good cell phones these days are and how still not good they are. It's like, cell phone. You can take wonderful photos and have blurry backgrounds and, nice sharp focus. Why can't you have everything in focus? Or at least more than just the center. And I have all the funny options turned off, all the picture optimization, well, as much as I can. Picture optimizations and fun stuff like that, all turned off. Because A, it takes more time after you touch the photo, and B, that takes the fun out of it when you let the, sometimes it takes the fun out of it when you let the computer process it all. Like, well, what if I just want to play with it myself? Or it's just informational, it's to remind me of something. And so I don't want it to be heavily processed. It is literally just there so I can, as a note, so I can check it out later. Okay, let's see. Now we're gonna drag this down from the cloud. And then we'll get started. But yes, exciting things. Beefing up the robot, and I figured out the code. It's sad and amusing at the same time, but when I was updating the robot's control code this weekend, I couldn't figure out why the stepper motor, because I'm upgrading his neck to a stepper, right here. Like, why isn't this working? I mean, when I connect everything and run the software that, I've shown a few times on stream, when I run it, the stepper just turns a little bit and then doesn't interact anymore. I figured what the problem was. Well, after I found out found out the right combination of code for how to make it act how I wanted it to, at least for testing purposes. Then I found out why it was only turning so far and never updating the command. The problem was, Visual Studio was being too helpful when it filled in my variable, and I didn't pay attention. But we have, let's see, I believe it's servo angle X for the nodding, because it's the X degrees. And we also have servo angle I X. Guess which one I was trying to send and never update. Yeah. Because for testing, I didn't have the eye hooked up. So yes, that's why it didn't turn, because I wasn't moving the eyes, and therefore, it wasn't actually moving. Now, where on earth did I send that screenshot? Where Where on earth did I send that screenshot? Oh, the desktop maybe. Well, that's ridiculous. Well, I'm just gonna have to keep talking at you while I go search for this photo that I supposedly downloaded. Put it back over here. You download. Now, where are you downloading? In the downloads. Okay. There we go. All right. Ta-da! I did a little CAD work too. Let's see. So, what we have here, no, I can't show you the neck and this at the same time. So what we usually have, I'll switch between it real quick. So the servo in this stock footage here, basically right there, there's a little red, I can't lean far enough for my hand tracking. There's a little red line or a little red box right there. That is a servo, so a motor, a controllable motor where I can set the degrees of where the little output goes. So if I want to turn 90 degrees, it'll turn 90 degrees and just stay there. And so it's nice control, nice precise control. And that's what allows the robot to nod when I ask him to nod politely. But we need a little more power there because this noggin is pretty heavy. There's a lot of garbage up in there. A lot of stuff up in there. And I think that's part of what's causing issues with the neck freezing up and not nodding anymore or tilting. So we're upgrading it slightly. And I'm very glad that my experiments worked, because what we're going to be using is this nice beefy little stepper motor. So instead of a servo, so it won't give us, it won't tell us what degree it's currently at. That's the basic difference between a stepper and a servo. There's way more into it than that. This guy here is going to be so much more precise. Not that that matters as much for what we're doing, but these little guys you'll find in 3D printers to make the little pieces zoom around, so you can have 3 of them, one for each axis, and then usually one for there's going to be one for moving the 3D printer filament. However, those are usually smaller than this one. So this is a nice beefy one. I originally bought this like 6 or 7 years ago when I first, no, was it that long? It might have been that long when I was going to do some CNC pieces for one of my lathes. So I could draw something up in CAD and then send it to the computer controls, and it would move the little pieces around and carve out the right shapes, basically. Very basic. Well, he's getting repurposed for this project. But yes, the CNC project was the start. The CNC idea was the start of this whole robot project. So how fun is that? It's kind of coming full circle. Now we're bringing the CNC, which is computer numerical control. Basically, computer sends commands. Some kind of motor thing moves stuff around, and stuff gets done. Again, basically. So if I say CNC, like that. Yep. That just means that the computer's telling the motors what to do, how far to go. Normally, you would use different commands for a CNC machine than you would for this guy. But I'll show more pictures on Wednesday. Live pictures of the upgrades. Maybe, no promises, but maybe this piece will be installed, because this is the right side. I had to check which side here. So this side of the neck. So there won't be a little red servo there anymore. There'll be this very hefty for its size stepper motor. Maybe it'll be hooked up. The downside of this is to get the extra circuitry, I have to rearrange a bunch of the connections on Rusty's control board inside of his head. So fingers crossed that I get to that. Fingers crossed. Now the inside of his head won't be changing at all, except for where the wires will all be positioned. Speaking of the inside of Rusty's head. Yes. Okay, let's see about getting some wires. Now, I didn't look up any tutorials on said wires. So I might have to look up that documentation here. We don't want new lighting. Got some materials. Ooh, that is a purpley sky. Now what I do want is I just want I'm going to need to look up a course real quick. I thought it would be an object. I thought they would be an object instead of whatever this is. Okay, so what do we put this on? Let's see if we can guess real quick. A line renderer. Oh. Okay, and this one is a mesh. You know what? There we go. Let's try that. Let's try that. 3D object. We will make a cylinder. We'll turn off the collider for now. Okay, where's the cylinder we just made? Cylinder, there you are. Let's make it point 2. Point 2. There. Rotate it a little bit and let's see what it does. Now I am just completely guessing here. I am completely guessing that this will do what we want it to do. Because what I should really do is look up a tutorial. Start point or end point is not assigned. My goodness, there's all sorts of stuff here. Rope start, rope end. Wow. Oh, I have no idea. Do an experiment and then we'll look up either look up a tutorial or save it next time. Okay, now where is that? Where did that cylinder disappear to? Optimized rope and cable. Okay. You know what? We're going to put it on here instead. Well, actually, it messed it up last time, so I don't know if I want to put it on there instead. We'll try it. We'll try it. Okay, so we put a rope mesh on here, on our scripts. Maybe, maybe. Oh, we can't select it out of the scene. That's what it's having problems with. I'll learn someday. I will learn someday. Okay, scripts. Cube. Rope start. Rope end. Oh, we got something already. We got something already, folks. A very droopy. Okay. Make it less droopy. Interesting. Yeah, and it's using Pepto-Bismol here. Pepto-Bismol because whatever it's using for the rope material is not optimized. Here we go. Rope mesh. Rope width. Overall division, so we can give it more. Oh my goodness. We can make it beefy. We can. That is interesting. Why did it puff up so much? Interesting, interesting. Looks like there's definitely a lot of a lot going on here. We can move it around. Why is it so thin? Yeah, let's just play around with it a little bit. Let's just play around with it since we're here. At least we can see it, right? At least we can see it. And just give it a new material. How about, what, yellow? Nope. Orange? Gold? Whatever color these guys are. What colors are you guys? Servo cord. Opaque. Okay, we will look up opaque. But definitely for now, I think we we can adjust them manually. Maybe? No? Well, it's certainly interesting, but how do we get it to not go through things? How do we give it a collider? Oh, remember, this doesn't have a collider. Okay. Okay. We do not have a collider on the floor of Rusty's head. Let's see if this makes a difference. No, it does apparently not make a difference. We get some cool physics, though. Look, it's actually stretching, wobbling around. So that's neat. That's neat. But why is it going through the floor? And all the other stuff. Okay, I don't care about lighting, except we do want it to be fixing shadows. Yep. Material, we'll worry about that. Rope mesh. Oh, is there a rope mesh now? There's no rope mesh. So we have a mesh renderer. Yeah, let's give it a material. Let's give it material. Opaque. Make it a orange. Yellow? Okay. So we have our script for the... We have our script for this new rope I'm testing out. It's trying to figure out how to control it. So right now it doesn't seem super controllable. For instance, why on earth we now have a pink, something pink right there? Yeah, I guess I will have to look up the tutorials on this now. Something just popped up on the other screen here. Because the demo looks super cool, but what do we do? What do we do with it? Yep, apparently this will be another issue of me just having to look into the... look into what is going on. Yeah, I got the wiring plug-in, but apparently I really need to read up on it because, for one thing, it doesn't have a collider, so it's going right through the floor. Like, you know, it's going right through the world here, and I'm pretty sure there are colliders on this floor. Yes, there are definitely colliders on the floor. This is like not a lot. I'm doing something wrong because I need to look into things. Fair enough. Fair enough. Rope length. Oh, there we go. Okay, we can make it a little less rope. Rope dampedness. Okay, that'd be how much it wiggles. Midpoint influence. You can add, see, one of the cool things is you can add right here. Can we see this? Yeah, you can add in like wind effects and stuff. So that's awesome. But like, why is this a giant macaroni noodle? Why is it so big? I don't even know what this does. What does this do? Okay, so can we move these around? No. So I guess if I want this to snake around, I have to... Yeah, so if I want this to snake around, then I have to manually position things, which is fine, because you can connect it to different objects. So right now I have it connected to... The starting and end point are cubes. So if we get out of this mode, I guess, I have a cube at the start and a cube at the end. So, I mean, look, it does cool wiggly stuff. Yeah. And it'll bounce around with physics, which is awesome. That's exactly what I'm looking for. But like I said, I think I need to go through the examples, scenes and stuff like that. Yeah. No, it is fancy, especially for being free. This one was a free recommended asset. There's a difference between plugins and assets and such, I guess, but this is an asset. So yeah, but one of the confusing things is it comes up as a script. Because I had it attached to an object before, but it was... Depending on the size of the objects... Oh, let's find that cube. You might be onto something there. See, it started off as just a line, though. And then it got huge, so maybe... It does seem to be about the size of the cube, but... Maybe if there's like a regenerator on it or something. Script. So like a reset. You know what? Let's wipe that out. Okay, so now it's none. So I should be able to move this around. Okay. Let's go back to that script. Drop it back in now that it's smaller and see what happens. And it reattached it, so that's nice. But it's huge. Yep, I think we're gonna leave this be for now, and I will look into this. So it looks like here's where the points are. Yeah, it definitely was worth a shot. And that, I mean, that would make sense, right? Like if you had, I mean, it's basically what I did last time with the servo wires up here when I was bridging them in Maya. You know, it just goes from literally the end cap or whatever face next to a different face. I mean, I like how responsive it is. You know, the wiggle, little jiggle. Yeah, I mean, so this is gonna be great once I figure it out, because it's like, oh, I want a droopy cable, cool. And then at some point, how do I hook up a collider to it? You know, so get some colliders. So as I walk through that room, I can brush them aside, or they'll go around me. That's cool. I don't know if it can do that though. That might not be part of it. But what it could do, what it probably could do, if this tube doesn't have a collider, I could fill it with objects that are colliders, like this cube. Because it asks for a midpoint. So if it asks for a midpoint, then I'm sure I could push that around too. So, you know, nope, definitely need to look up some tutorials. Boing, 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 boing. And I could see this being fun. I mean, right off the bat, like connecting it to like a mouse, you know, like physical mouse or computer mouse, because then, you know, it would be sitting on the desk, moving around, and this little cord will be chasing right after it, just like it would be. Wait, start point or end point not assigned. What does that mean? So there's an error beneath me right here. Start point or end point is not assigned. Let's see what that means. Clearly console. Oh, it's because I disconnected it. It's because I disconnected it. Okay, now we're going to take this whole thing. Remove component. Yes. Oh my goodness, there's a whole bunch to it. There's a whole bunch to this thing. Hey, I found the rope width. It was at the very bottom for some reason. All of these things are created by one script. Oh my gosh. We can increase the fidelity here. Nice. The radial division. Okay, so You know, how many pieces as you're going around the tube. Material. Okay, so that is very interesting that there are two different materials you can assign to it. You have this one in the mesh renderer and the one in the rope mesh. Apparently there's a line renderer too. Wow. Okay. Yeah, this is definitely going to take a little getting used to here. Okay, let's look up another opaque one. Interesting. It is so much stuff. I mean, I'll do it better myself. Exactly. So one thing that I'm curious about is need a drink of water here. Okay, so one thing I'm curious about with this, do I need this script for every single wire I create? Is it going to create all of these for each one? What'd be nice is if this was a constructor. So if there was a button at the bottom that said create, and then it would just, you know, spawn one into my hierarchy right here. But I suppose you could just choose one of your start and end objects. Let's try it right now. Let's try that right now. Let's do a rope this time instead of a rope mesh. Maybe that'll make a difference. Rope start. Let's do it the same thing here. So maybe we don't need a whole bunch of stuff. Rope width. Okay, cool. Line renderer. Do we have a mesh here somewhere? Why are you pink? I do not want you to be pink. Yeah, see, there's just a lot that I need to look up, I guess. But either way, I mean, here we have the very basics. We can add multiple lines. So I suppose what you would do is you would just toss this script on every object you want to have ropes attached to. Makes sense. It does make sense. Okay. Yeah, I get it. No, this will be super handy. Honestly, this isn't too bad. Once I figure out some of the details. I'll probably use the mesh instead of the line renderer. I can see the uses for both, but you know, I mean, let's say I want one of these servos to actually move. Well, here you go. I'll just attach this rope to them and it'll move nicely like this. Yeah, I get it. But let's see if we can get rid of this pink color maybe. Will that fix it? Or do we have to go into play mode for this? Okay, let's teleport. Oh no, that is neon pink. That is quite neon, and no colliders on it. Yeah, I didn't think it would. But like I said, what he could probably do is put the collider on whatever object is in the middle, so wherever it's sagging. Yeah. Oh, so let's play with that a little bit. Since we've got it here now, definitely don't want this script hanging out. I don't want all of the rope scripts hanging out on my main scripts object. Okay, let's add another one of these guys. Cube 3. Cube 2. Cube 2. Yep, Cube 2. And now let's see where he went. Oh. Okay. And we do have a box collider here. So there's a collider on the cube I just made. So let's test that. That's this. Okay. Learning by doing the inefficient way. I'm going to keep that window, the window above me, open too. Okay, we are here inside Rusty's headspace. And we can't push it. Okay, we can't push it. Why can't we push it? Oh, okay. Okay, I shouldn't be doing this in play mode. Ta-da! Rigid body. Let's give it just a little bit of mass. It's the little things. Thankfully, my computer is beefy enough that I can bounce in and out, and it doesn't have to rebuild everything. And it doesn't take a long time to rebuild everything. When I'm using Rusty's computer, well, that cube has physics. It's just trapped inside of the tube. Look at it go. Look at it go. Look at it go. Look at it go. If I had a clear material on the big, we'll call it the tube and the wire. If I had a clear material on that tube, you could really see it going. I mean, look at it go. Look at it. It's slowing down. It's starting to slow down. Look at it go. Behold the cube. It's slowing down. Okay, so what is the point of that? Again, if I, actually looked up the tutorial, I'm sure we would find out. What the point of the midpoint. Point of the midpoint. Midpoint position. Midpoint influence. Oh. Boing. We're working on jiggle physics here, folks. Boing. Boing. Okay. Okay, so let's give it a little give. And no, I'm hitting it and like bumping into it, but it's still not affecting it a bit. Again, there's got to be some more things I'm not quite seeing here. Maybe we need to turn this way down and turn this way down. We should see how badly that poor little thing's spinning around now. Cube 2, where are you? Oh yeah, there it is. Look at it go. You see the numbers. See the rotation numbers up in the corner. Because I didn't give it a whole lot of mass. So it's spinning quite well. Yep, anyways, we'll figure that out later. We'll figure that out later. The interesting thing is, I don't know. Let's see if we can even hide it. We're gonna group these. We would group these. So if we hide all these, how on earth do we make this disappear? Do we seriously have to go to the script and make that script just... Yup. That is what we have to do. We have to turn off the mesh renderer. Oof. Oh, look at him go. No, this is definitely interesting though, especially for a free asset. All right. Well, that was fun. That was fun. But for now, I think we'll just hide it. So I will create a little game object, empty one, because you can't just group stuff. That is one thing that annoys me. I mean, I get it, but so I can't just like select these 3 items and like Control G to group them. Nope, you have to put them within something else because it's hierarchy, and a group can't just sit there. It'd be nice if you could highlight the objects and then create an empty game object, which is what I did here, at the point of all those objects. That would be awesome. And if there's a way to do it, I just don't know it. So what we're doing here is, we'll just call this rope, rope text. And then we hide it. What'd be nice is if I could take this whole script here and move it on over there. I don't think I can. So I'm just gonna try removing it. We will build it later. There. We will look into it later. Because the showcase video where one of the 3D not necessarily 3D, one of the game engine YouTubers was highlighting it, saying, hey, check out this new free asset for doing ropes, you know, ropes and cables and stuff. I think he might have had like, here's a free one, here's a couple paid ones. And yeah, I think one of the limitations is that it did not do collisions. So I don't know, if it can be affected by wind and stuff, that's cool too. So I will read the tutorials later, but that was a fun little experiment. So what else do we have? Oh, I don't think you were here before, Vic. Upgrades. Real world upgrades for the robot. This right here is the side bracket and gear and new motor, stepper motor for Rusty's neck. So I'll be able to nod much more precisely and much hotter. Yeah, when I was testing it, I didn't have the disable code built in yet. So the stepper motor, like this is basically like one step up from a 3D printer stepper motor, or at least the one I have. So it's a little bit bigger, about maybe twice as wide this way, but about twice as wide as that way as the ones that I have in my Ender 3D printer. But yeah, I spent some time working on the code. I made the new side bracket and gear because this had to fit a stepper motor instead of the connection it currently has. And yeah, so I played around in some CAD and some coding this weekend. I got it to work. But that was the testing version. So before I can put it inside the robot's noggin, I'm gonna have to, because it's a whole new board that's going on top, it's a shield, so it sits on top of the Arduino that's in there now. I'm gonna have to move some connections around so it can all fit in there. No, I did not figure out what was limiting it. One theory is that maybe the little board inside, because there's inside of a servo motor, there's a little board that, you know, controls the signals and converts it to, you know, motor movement, and then also gets the feedback for what degree the output is. So like, you know, 0, 45, 90. Hey, that's some pretty good tracking. 45, 90. So it gets feedback. So I'm wondering if it just gets too warm and then does a little shutdown routine. You know, maybe for the neck especially, there's too much current being used to hold the head position. Because if we go over to the chatting, stock footage, there's a lot of weight up here, and it is not balanced. Well, a lot of weight in quotes, and it's not balanced. He's a little forward heavy, and so my old neck, and partially this one, it's kind of off by design, you know, off-centered by design. That way it'll be less wobble. It's called a backlash because I'm using gears, and the gears aren't perfect, right? They go together very well, but they're not perfect. So I put a little bit of, you know, I made sure there was a little bit of weight on there to kind of make sure I wouldn't bounce around all the time. Not the best design choice in the world, but yeah, I don't know. So I'm thinking maybe that poor little motor, the one right here, had to use just a little bit, you know, it had to constantly put a little bit of current in there to hold its position. So it wouldn't just go, zzz, you know, whenever I stop moving or stop receiving commands. But, you know, that's all theories. Couldn't tell about the amount of heat from the outside. So, yeah, it's a mystery. It's a bit of a mystery. But no, we're going to have this. And I might actually have to install a fan inside of the robot's head too, because the little tiny board that powers this stepper, ooh, that gets toasty. That gets pretty toasty. But yeah, so that's exciting. So nothing's going to change. I like that it's in the engine here, so I can kind of point to it in real time. Nothing's going to change up here, except for all the connections that are going to be right about here. That will change. Basically, I just move stuff around, and then when I go into Rusty's control software, I have to tell it which location the signal's now coming from. So that's not the worst. It's changing a bunch of variables around. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed, that's all it is. Let's see, what else was I going to work on today? Linking the sun direction. Okay, so that is a script I'm going to add. Let's add a new one. Oops, let's make sure it's in the right spot, though. Project. Funny, the username of the person, or the project name for that, the wire, the cables, is Go Gaga. So that's how it's showing up in my asset folder now. That's kind of funny. Everything is kind of funny. Okay, do I have scripts in here? I do have scripts in here. Okay. Create. Script. We're going to call this Sunshine. Load up some Visual Studio. Welcome in, new follower. Welcome in. We're doing some robot, no, we were talking about some robot dev. Tonight we are doing, if Visual Studio loads, we'll be doing a little bit more dev on that. Come on. There we go. Do. Okay, we're gonna make up a whole new little script here. So what I'm going to do is I want to better control the sunlight, which you can't currently see in here because it is the void. My skybox is the purple space scene, and I kind of like it that way. I'll change it. I will change it so that we can have different skies. Man, there's just something about that right now, and it really fits for being in development. But what I do want to control more easily right now is the sunlight. Sunlight, which you can see we're casting a shadow right there. So what we have for that? Where are you? I could just find it in the. I should just find it in scripting. Directional light. Where are you? I really love how you can search for things right here in the hierarchy, in your project, your asset folders. You can just search for something. Like if I'm searching for an asset, I want to find a can. Just type can, and everything that's labeled can will show up. Or within the scene, that's what this window is. It'll highlight everything within the scene. That's awesome. Super helpful. I do have my viewport here all arranged differently than stock. I saw someone set it up this way or similar, so that they could have, instead of having the hierarchy on this side, properties and whatnot on this side, and then this project window all on the bottom, move your hierarchy over here so you can drag it in. You can drag your items in to link them. It doesn't need to be that big. It doesn't need to take up a whole chunk of your screen over here. 1, 2. Must have done a lot of talking on this Monday. Okay, so what I want to do is connect this light's rotation, or I want to be able to control this light's rotation. What I should do is I should set up an overlay. I keep talking about setting up an overlay, but it is quite a ways down on the list. Basically a heads-up display when I'm in the game, when I'm playing the game, when I'm in the game mode here, because we are in the game mode. I can just pop up a display. They'll bring up some controls maybe on this side for controlling the lighting, different toggles, like if I want to pop in different hats or something. And just some feedback. It's on the to-do list. It is on the to-do list. But for now, we're going to do this in kind of a hacky way. And I thought of it earlier today, and I want to give it a shot. Will it work? Maybe. All right, let's go find our scripts. Let's go find our scripts again. Scripts, there you are. We'll throw another script on our scripts because it's a good place to keep them all. Now I should be doing this testing over in my testing environment, or testing project, instead of my asset combining project, but welcome to Rusty's messy welcome to Rusty's messy projects. Again, it's funny because I'm a software dev, and this is my home project, my side project. This is not how one codes when you're trying to make money or trying to keep your job. This is the fun part. We just kind of mash it together and see if it works. Okay. Update is called once per frame. Well, thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, let's see. You know, I told myself that I would not, well, that's interesting. I told myself I would not code at night because I do not usually have the brain power left over. Yeah. Let's see. Sun controller. Let's do a serialized field. No. IntelliSense is being too helpful, which is what got me into trouble when earlier this weekend when I was working on the robot project, where I control the robot, it was being too helpful, and I didn't pay enough attention. So it was trying to read the degrees from the eye servo angle, or the eye joint angle, instead of the neck or the general joint angle. And I was wondering why it wasn't moving when I was nodding the head up and down. Oops. So that one took a while to figure out because I think I had the variables as servo angle X and servo angle IX. I being EYE. Joys. Okay, so we've got these two. We want to... do I have anything attached to the letter P? Well, not in this project. I don't think I do in the other one either. If input get key. Let's do the key up. Get key up. Key code escape. No, key code E. Welcome to the ad break if you're catching the ad break here. Key code P. So because I'm testing this, I'm not going to bother hooking it up to the input controller and all that fun stuff like I should, you know, for key mapping, because this is just testing. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a thing when the P key is pressed. That's basically what this says. And this should be super simple. This should just be sun object transform rotate rotation rotate rotate vector 3 sun controller. Oops. Be a new vector 3. Do I need a vector 3? Oh, I'm silly. Okay. That should do it. It should be literally that simple. Assuming I, don't break my variables up. What it's going to do is, theoretically, it's going to set the rotation of the sun object, to the, let's see, the sun controller transform rotation. All right, let's see if that, let's see what happens. So we still have to hook it up. See? Now it's not. Doesn't have anything there. But what we're going to do is we're going to take that directional light, if we can find it again. I mean, ideally, I wouldn't have to go hunting for it. But it looks like we do. Okay, so directional light is... And I could have it set to anything. So I could have it like attached to my finger. And when when I go like this, it would change. It would change rotation. That's kind of cool. Okay, so we got that. We have the directional light itself, which is, I should rename it called sunlight, but it's directional light. And we just need to find our person, player armature, there we go. And let's have it be the follower cam. Okay, yeah, let's have it be the follower cam. Ooh. Yeah, let's try this out. Okay. Save. Okay, let's get away from this tree. I should set the starting point away from that tree. It's kind of annoying. Okay. So. Right now it's, the sun is like way out here. Where did it go? There might be an offset I need to keep in mind. Oh. That's funny. That is kind of funny. The rotation of the player follow camera does not change. It is always at -95. Oopsies. Oh, that is interesting though. Okay, so it's constrained by a point at. Its position moves. So actually, you can see it. Where are we? Where's the cursor? Okay. There we are. Okay, so this is us, and this is the camera. So it's not rotating. It is moving within a set distance of the character. Oh. Well, that's interesting. So I could still try to get the position based off of that. It's not a good way to set this. Not at all. Because I could still find the angle that it's using to point at the player. Because right now it is directly behind the player, according to this -95 degrees. Okay, we'll find a different way. What else we got? Let's see what else can be controlled in multiple directions. I could have it set by my head, like my head tilt, like I do with the first-person follow camera, my FPS mode. Okay, so that just does Y movement, which makes sense. What else we got? Player camera root's gonna be the same thing. Oh, wait. Oh, that might work. That might work. The player camera root might be the rotation object. That does make sense. Okay, what else we got? So the player armature itself, yeah, it would just turn around. I'm not tumbling. I'm not tumbling or doing somersaults. So that shouldn't. Yeah, that's not rotating anywhere. Okay. I think we have the player camera root. So we go find that script again. Now let's see if we can set this on different positions. It does it. Ta-da! Oh, that is so much fun. That is so much fun. Yeah, it works now. I love it. Ha. Okay, cool. Let's save that. And the cool thing is I can do that from anywhere now. Anywhere within here. I could go inside. Notice how the sunlight is coming in through the windows, casting a shadow there. Now it's not. Now it's coming from the other side. Because it is basically based on where the oh, that is so much fun. It's based on where I am looking. So it's definitely not realistic, any kind of realistic physical sun and sky is what I was trying to think of. I say that because that's what I used to use in Maya a long time ago, is a physical sun and sky. It was a whole neat little object. So not only could you control the lighting and the lighting of the sun in the scene, with you could see where it would be, and how strong it was. Very much the same way this directional light works that we're just playing with. But it was smart enough to you could change the temperature of the light and have it affect fog and haze and that kind of stuff based on its angle. Is the azimuth? My terminology might be a little rusty. And it would also affect the strength and type of light it would output. So if it was high noon, directly above you, be casting a harsh light. Whereas if it gets to be like 4 in the afternoon, a different angle, 4 in the afternoon, it'd be a warmer, more orange light. If you had it a negative value, so basically it'd be pointing up, it knew it was nighttime. So you could, if you wanted to, you could animate it to just go around in a day cycle. And while it wouldn't be affecting an object in the sky like a globe representing the sun, sphere, or the moon, you could attach it to that. But you could have it just animate, just rotating, and you would get this nice lighting effect, kind of like what we're doing here in stop motion. Oh, there's the time of day, there it goes. And I want to do that here, and I'm sure there's got to be assets for it in the asset store. I don't want to make my own. I kind of want to set up a little script just for the challenge of it. And it'll give me more control for controlling the color temperature and stuff like that. Oh, that is so much fun though. Essentially it'd be like, oh, if it is a negative, so if it's pointing up through the ground, the directional light's pointing up through the ground, change the lighting color, make it a cool blue. Because of course you can change. I find out where it's hiding. So you can change all the temperature and all that fun stuff. And you can control these things by script. So that same script that I was using, yeah, I could build further on the script so that when it sets the angle, it then calculates, what angle it is, just like I was talking about, what angle it is, and then adjust the temperature based on that. I would love to have a day cycle though, where it rotates, and then it would rotate that. It could rotate the skybox, so the skybox would move too. All sorts of fun stuff you can do if you really want to dig into it. But where? Directional light is in lighting. Okay. Directional light lighting. Okay, I have a lighting game object. Go figure. Ta-da! Yeah. Oh, it's neat. I love digging in the hood, or beneath the hood, digging beneath the hood. Welcome in, Nyx. Welcome in. I can control the very sun in the sky. So technically, my sun is sitting on the ground. My sun in the game engine is sitting on the ground plane. It is way out here. But since we're still in play mode, I can show you. I hooked it up to the camera so that when I press a key, it changes the rotation based on the camera's rotation. So I can set it differently. Now what I could do, I could have it lerp. That would be cool. I could have it lerp the rotation values. Okay, let's see. Linear interpolation. Lerp. Fun word. Is it just lerp or is it math lerp? I was programming in Visual Basic earlier today, so I'm getting my commenting confused. Okay, here's lerp. Vector lerp. Scalar lerp. Unity lerp rotation. Ontarian. Ooh. There's also one called Slurp. How should I be doing this? Ew, really? Really? No, there's gotta be a... Oh man, that's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of stuff. Okay, let's put it in there anyways. So we're going to take this code and we're going to uncomment it. Okay, so if we take this, put it here, equals there. I mean, this does the job, and it'll put it exactly where I want it to. Why? How nice would it be for it just to go up and just bam? What the heck? Who wrote this? Thanks, Unity discussion board. I did not realize we had a transform command. It must be for trains. Yep. Typo in your suggestion code. Speed. I don't have a speed. What is his speed? 1. Just call it 1. Two from float speed time count times float speed. Now we'll do time delta time. Let's just do a 1f. 1.0f. No one gets mad at us. Why is my Oilers not being Euler? Somebody's giving me bad info here. Interesting. Why is it asking for all this weird stuff? I mean, judging by this person's typos, I am not particularly fond of what they came up with anyways. So we'll just get rid of that. Okay, let's see. We are doing sun controller, transform rotation. We'll just put that right there because I don't have it on the object itself. Quant A, quant B. Okay. Time delta time, so that should do it. That should do it. Yeah, the simple rotation does definitely do the job. But let's just see if this does the job too. Oh my gosh, it doesn't loop. Okay. I clicked something funny. Void update. Oh, okay. Well, that's annoying. That's annoying. This time delta time and the speed is not doing what I thought it would. Okay. Time delta time times, so it's time count time speed. I guess that's the problem with sourcing your answers from different spots. Here we go. The float you were multiplying with may need to be higher than 1. Yeah. Time delta time is always confusing to me. I think I have clamp to the range. Time delta time always confused me. I have these backwards. I think I have them sun object transform equals yeah, the answer using lerp angles and stuff. And they're splitting what I'm finding is they're splitting it into different pieces. So what I'm going to do instead here is, which is so interesting that they don't use, oh, they're using time delta time. Okay. Okay, let's see. From 2, I do have them backwards. That's part of the problem. Okay, so that's part of the problem. This is the other part of the problem. Let's do a time count. Don't be helpful. There. Okay. Let's get ourselves a float speed, float that. Float this, float that. That looks really slow though, so let's speed it up a little bit at least. Okay, then time count. There, okay, so this is what they have in the good old documentation. Ooh, and I'm doing that live. That wasn't smart. Now let's see if it updated it live. Nope, in fact, it made it worse. Okay. We're putting a pin in this one. We're putting a pin in this one. Okay, speed, time count. Sun object. From rotation. No, I had it right there. I did have it right. Okay. Weird. Okay. Sun object. No controller. Okay, one more try. I take it back one more time. And then I'm calling it. Yeah, for some reason it's not updating. I have to press P. Oh my gosh. Are you serious? This is 100% why I should not code at night. %100% why I should not code at night. What have we learned here? Why was it only moving when I pressed the P key? Because I had the code to move it within the P key. Now it will work fine. Again, this is why I do not code after a long day of coding. Oh yeah, you ready to be astounded? Okay. Lock the viewport here. Really? It's still not going to do it? Oh my gosh, I'm so... Okay. We got a half right, guys. We got a half right. We got a half right. Yeah, I know. I know. I know. Okay, let's see. We need to get a target. We need a target. Transform. Target. Transform. Source. Make these private so we can't mess with them. I'm so silly. I'm going through a lot of work to do this. Yeah, I know. Activate the sun. Well, that would work too. That would definitely work too. To just toggle it. No, because then it would be while I'm holding. Because I want to set it at the instant I press the button. But move sun has to be run every frame. So this will do it automatically. This will chase me around. I don't want that. Unless we do target and source. Because how do you detect when it reaches its destination? I guess when. No, I have to do this when it's when I'm thinking more. Though I guess. Okay, next. I had a funny idea that I kind of like. We'll go with that. Let's serialize it too, so we can. No, let's public it. Public bool is moving. Equals false. Now toggle it. If it's moving, move sun. And for fun, we are going to put this on a key down. This should have a very amusing effect. Let's see. Let me see if I get this right. If it's moving, then move sun. The source and the object. Okay. So this should follow me around. I know, that's the beauty of it. Oh wait, no. Oh, that wouldn't be a toggle then. Shoot. That wouldn't be a toggle then. You're right. You're right. That wouldn't be a toggle. But the sun is now following me around until I lock it into position. I mean, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I was thinking that it would do this, but it's essentially the same thing. I was thinking instead of toggling it, I would only have it work while it's while I'm holding the key down. So instead of a toggle, it'd be a constant press. I kind of like the constant press idea, so I don't have to toggle it. But this is amusing too. It's just following me around. It's just following me around. Okay, so we got the lerp to work. It's silly. On key hold, is it? Yeah, if there's a hold one, then it would there'd be less stuttering. Let's try another one. Let's see what input gives us. Because input is more than just keys. You know, it's also the axis and all that stuff. This stuff you're supposed to do in the input controller instead of this. Ooh, gyro, cool. Oh yeah. If you had like a PlayStation controller, it has the gyro in it. Well, but I think get key down will see. Right now I have it toggling. So what I could do is I could put move sun into get key down. There, sloppy, but let's test it out just for fun. We're in fun testing mode. Yes, I could go into the input controller and do a keybind for it, which would be a better way to do this. Oops. Get back out there. Do I have an outside? I don't have an outside. No, on key down is not doing its job. Okay. experiment failed, but that's okay. We'll just put it back there anyways. I like it. I like it. It follows me around. I do want it to go a little slower. Maybe we'll put it like a 0.15. So it kind of sloshes around behind me. Okay, cool. Cross that off the list. It says link sun direction rotation to third person camera. Check. Okay, let's see. Oop, I don't know if you typed this before or after, but on key down set bool to true, I am. I'm setting it the opposite, so it's a toggle. Here, I'll bring that back up again. So instead of explicitly saying true or false, it is switching. It says is moving, which is my boolean. I'm setting it to the opposite of is moving. No. I appreciate. See, I mean, otherwise I'd be, doing this offline, where I wouldn't be able to have this conversation with y'all. But Nix, before you got in here, we're working on the upgrades. I don't think I've posted this in the Discord yet. But yes, this will be Rusty's new neck motor. We're switching from a servo to a stepper, which means I had to put a whole new way of doing things on there. But it definitely has a lot more torque than that the servo motor we're currently using in the neck. Weighs a lot more and heats up more too. But I do have to rearrange the control board, the Arduino's pins, so where things are plugged in, so I can fit this whole other control board on top of it in a very amusing way. So that'll be exciting. A lot more power. I was testing it out and I did figure it out. And then this everything light gray, I had to redesign a bit this weekend when I was playing with it. So went into CAD and made a new side bracket to hold the stepper motor. Look, I even have the little bolts, little screws, they're even recessed, so it's nice and professional looking, right? And then I had to slightly rework the main gear, the drive gear, so that it would fit on the stepper instead of how I currently have it attached. But yeah, I should just be able to pop it right in. Theoretically. But, as you can see, the theoretically part is definitely theoretical. Okay, let's see. What else? Ooh. Oh wait, we don't have the VTuber controls hooked up in here. I do forget that sometimes. Another thing we did earlier is I started playing with a ropes and cables asset. I want to call it a plugin, even though it's not a plugin. Get over here. So here's how it kind of works. This is the line version, not the polygon mesh version. But basically you attach it to 3 points, or I don't know what the third point does, because I could not move when I had it first set up. I could not move the middle point, but you can move the end points, and you can do things like set the springiness of the rope, the wire. So it'll definitely be neat to play with, and it's free. It's free in the asset store. I think one downside of this is that it did not come with collisions. So I might be looking for a paid asset that does do collisions, or somehow hook a collider up. Yeah. Oh no, I'm not entirely sure what would do. I'm gonna look up tutorials on it, because as I was playing with it earlier on stream, it was painfully obvious that I needed to look up tutorials on it. But it's a good start, because you just attach it to two objects and there it goes. You can make it as springy as you want. Yep, see? Adjust the length of it, the length, the diameter, how springy it is. There we go. Get some jiggle physics. Jiggle physics. Yeah, no, that'll be neat. I don't think I'm going to use it for all of the wiring, like I was maybe thinking about doing up here, because this is definitely serviceable. Yeah. And that's just done in Maya, and I changed some settings and then exported it right over here. So I think that'll work better for all the static ropes, or cables in this case. And then for anything I do want to move around, like this will blow in the wind. This is affected by wind physics, just not collisions, which is a little confusing. But again, that's what tutorials are for. We'll figure it out. Let's see. What is next on the agenda? Should we keep plugging away at Rusty's head? Get rid of this OSHA ladder here. We don't need no OSHA ladders. Still getting rid of some of the junk that's came with the prefab. Some of them we might just move around and keep, some of them we might just get rid of. But we definitely don't need walkway railings. I mean, who does that? I don't need no OSHA here. There. So right in here is where the Arduino board is going to be. And the new board that goes on top of it, it's stacking. It's called a CNC shield, and it's pretty cool. You can basically use it to control, well, a CNC, a computer-controlled machine. Move little motors around, like 3D printers or a little hobby milling machine. Move the little motors around, have things moving. I think this one does 4 axes. 4 axes plus a couple extra little things for on-off switches. What am I all going to do with the robot with this? I'm not entirely sure. Not entirely sure if, for now, we'll see how it goes. I'm just going to have the nod, because the side-to-side works pretty good. Works pretty well. I might finally hook up the rotation so we can swivel our neck back and forth, because right now, a little behind the scenes, that is a manual operation. I have a foot pedal beneath my desk that uses a brake line, a bicycle brake line, over to Rusty, and rotates his spine essentially. So that's why if you're watching a Rusty robot stream and the VTuber is moving like this, and the robot's just kind of moving slower for turning the head back and forth, that's why. Little spoiler. OSHA Man. OSHA Man. Wait, no, Ocean Man song is OSHA Man. Ah. What else did I have on the docket for tonight? I was going to do a lot more cabling. I was going to do a lot more cabling. What else do we have? Oh, you know, I never posted a going live in the server, did I? I didn't. I did not. Oh well, a little late in the game now. We're going to be wrapping up in like 15 minutes or so. So as of right now, I can leave the robot just as he is and bring him on stream for Wednesday. But if I get some time tomorrow, after work, after the kids are in bed, I'm going to hook this guy up. Because I have the code written now. I just have to rearrange the inputs and outputs for all the rest of the equipment inside of his head. But that's just changing numbers. And they're all labeled. They are all labeled on this little circuit board, which I would be modeling right now. Don't have it brought into Maya. Let's see. Do I have a picture? I should have a picture. Pix parts. This guy. So this is the main board. It's an Arduino Mega. It says plus because it's got some extra bells and whistles. And we're putting a CNC shield on top of it, which I do not have a picture of. Oh, you can get them really cheap off of Temu. Let's just look at a picture. Here we go. Open image in new tab. There. So essentially something like this. Is this even showing up? There we go. Essentially, this top part, this red circuit board, sits on top of basically this half right here, I believe. And so I have all this extra space to play. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to use both this motor control board and the rest of the robot servos and LEDs and all that fun stuff at the same time. So that's something that I definitely had to take into consideration when doing this whole design or redesign for more power. Now, if I wanted to add in a robotic arm for controlling it, because that's kind of where this is leading, I'm going to need a whole nother control board to send info to, separately from the one that's currently inside of his head. So that is going to be further down the line. Well, no problem, Nix. Thanks for stopping by as always. I'll catch you next the tail end of your stream in the morning. Next time you're streaming. And good luck with the weather. Good luck if you're still having some weather over there, down there. Okay, this track I should remove from the playlist. It is just too chill. There we go. Okay, so what have we got left for tonight? We need to add more debris to this place. That is something I was going to work on. Adding more debris before we join it into the main project. The new main project. Now, a good example of the debris is definitely this mess over here. I love it. It's from a Warzone pack, so it's unfortunate, of course. But it looks really good to walk around in. So I need more stuff that looks like this. Maybe not quite so quite so much. Do they have just a debris? They do have debris. Okay, so we're gonna get some more. So I have I have a whole bunch of low polygon asset packs loaded up. You can see it behind, come on tracking, behind me over here. So these are basically the folders of my asset packs. Let's get a little more. There we go. Sorry, had to change the music again. Anyways, so a whole bunch of asset packs over here. And I'm searching through them. Prefabs. For instance, I just searched for debris. So let's go back into the warehouse. Have a bucket. So we can look at different debris. Here's a barrel, some boards, some kind of antenna structure. Ooh, that's kind of nice. Well, I kind of dig that one. Barrels. These are coming from all different packs. It'll tell me right here. This one's from the Pirates. Makes sense. There's barrels and such. What is this one? Pipe. This one's sci-fi. War. Lots of these bricks are from the war packs. And you just drop them right into the scene. That's kind of the beauty of this whole thing. Different chunks of things, I guess. Because this is this factory's in way too nice of condition. Way too nice of condition. So we need to rough it up a little bit. And some of that I'll be doing with shaders, just or textures, just making like, you know, rust dripping from some of the things. And oh, that is a huge tower. That is way larger than I was expecting. Way larger than I was expecting. We'll scale that down quite a bit. No, the other scale down. You know, maybe the Chill album needs to be, the whole Chill album needs to be removed from the playlist. Just saying. Late night programming vibes to put you to sleep by. Yeah, we'll see how that looks when we get in there. Okay. And we have way too many caution signs. We do not want caution. We do not want caution. Ooh, a fun idea. You see the little security camera just hanging there. Hello. Hello, security camera. These are fun because you can control them quite a bit. See? But another fun thing is I can attach an in-game camera to that. And maybe it's, you know, working as a rotational security camera. Rough and Rowdy, Rusty Robot Factory, yes. Rough and Rowdy. One of the things I want to do with the security cameras is so Rusty, as factory overseer, can check up on these things. So some of the computer monitors that are going to be stacked up in the office, that's what I can do right now. Computer monitors that are going to be stacked up in the office, way over here. They'll be showing different screens, both in-game and out-of-game. Oh no, Rusty Robot Factory, but it's FNAF. That's Rusty After Dark. The robots get rowdy at night. I'm really planning on having Rusty be the only robot in the factory for now. unless it'll be different, like different modes. So different game modes or episodes. I haven't quite decided on how to there you go, punctuation correction or plural correction. Yes, the robot. Yes, I am kind of toying with the idea of turning this into a game, like an episodic game. So, I mean, I'd be streaming as, you know, myself here and everything, as Rusty the robot. But within this, release like a little short episodic adventures. I think I'm toying with the idea. I think it could be really cool as long as I nail the writing and atmosphere and everything. And I'd be using this location. So yeah, no, it'd be a neat little thing. And then maybe different scenarios, like different timelines, almost. Like what happens if the like one of them would be, oh, friendly robot. So maybe, you know, so like an urban explorer or you know, or someone just stumbles on the factory and the robot is, you know, I'm sitting here trying to rebuild it. You help out the robot and then, you know, you build the factory back up, get it, you know, kind of running. Or an alternate. I have to get out the orange eyes for this one. The robot is less than helpful. And you have stumbled onto his domain in the factory and become part of the factory, part of the crew. So yes, I'm working on the writing. I've got it sketched out. I actually have a couple pages of ideas and dialogue for those. So far, just those two scenarios. But it can definitely be expanded from there. And I love this idea. I think it'd be really fun to release, even if it's just on like Itch or something for free, or for a couple bucks. Why not? Why not? Okay. Show. Oh no! Are all these? Those are all items. Okay, pile of books. At least it's not every book is its own item, because that'd be slightly ridiculous. Okay, so we want to stack up. We want to stack up a whole bunch of monitors over here, so we can display different footage. Yes, different footage of scenes within the game, scenes from the stream. Like maybe chat will be scrolling on one of them, you know, that kind of stuff. This LED panel probably will have to go because it won't be timely. It won't be in the right era. This laptop will have to be de-evolutionized. Brought back to maybe like early 90s, late 80s. Oh, okay, so right here. Phone cord. That does remind me. Okay, so I was just thinking phone cord. You know, you pick up the phone, and that phone cord is jingling, right? Based on that plugin, the plugin the rope plugin we were playing with earlier. I saw a while back. I think he's working in Unreal. Somebody that works with Red Letter Media is making a very oddball game. I'm pretty sure it's being done in Unreal. Could be Unity. If I can think of it and find it in my history, I'll post it in the Discord. It's working on a kind of a bonkers game. I don't know what it's about yet. I haven't checked it on recently. I'm not on the Twitters much anymore. And I think that's where I found him in the past. But one of the things is he was a cutting edge jiggle physics, and it was the coiled up phone cord. You know, the phone cords, you know, back when you had physical phones. The coiled up phone cord, and he shows it moving the handset around and the cords whipping back and forth. Jiggle physics. So we could do the same thing here. Okay. What are you? Where are you, prop? Viewthonics, there you are. Okay, so yeah, I want to dump a whole bunch of stuff in this corner here. Oh no, do I have these all messy? I do have them all messy. Like, why is the monitor in the rusty room? Oh, no, it's not. It's not in the rusty room. It's also not in the office where it should be. Let's move those over there for now. And now we can duplicate them. One of the really nice things about that I discovered and should have known in the past is that when you update a prefab, so when you update an asset, in here, it will update instances of that asset that are already in the game. Like, let's say I want to, let's say I add in the screen where I can apply textures and like movies and stuff, movie files and stuff. I update that, update that in Maya, bring it in here into Unity. It'll then update all of the assets that are inside of the project already, all the instances of them. Super handy, things that make sense, but you might not think about. Oh yeah, that'd be very handy if these things were properly updated and conveniently updated. You know what I should do? Is I should have all of these just floating. Yes, I should have them all floating and then put physics on them so that whenever I hit play, they just settle into position. See how random it gets? See, because maybe in different streams, different times I hit play to run the project, they might settle in slightly different positions. Amusing thoughts here. Oops. See, look, I just took the screen with me. But yeah, no, this is definitely going to take some time to place clutter to make it look good. Isn't that an odd concept? Like, you have to place clutter in a certain way so it looks like it is cluttered instead of just being perfectly, in line, like everything is lined up XY on the XY axis. But no, you want to purposely make it look like it is abandoned and just kind of left there. Like the extra work that goes into that. So yeah, there'll be a lot of off-screen messing around with stuff. And way more monitors and such all stacked up. Now I'll have to add in different colors and different makes and models, put different scratches on different ones. Play with the textures that way. So again, it looks like the robot collected a whole bunch from the office building, which is, I think, yeah, that'd be the one that's horribly shaped that we saw earlier, all collapsed in on itself. I'll have to put some more monitors and such over there too, so that they look like they're properly stacked up. Need to find more source images of unfortunate abandoned offices and such like that. A little bit more source imagery to see how it would look. Time to hop back in on the Urban Explorer forums and Forgotten Wisconsin and some other places like that. I say Forgotten Wisconsin because from Wisconsin, but I'm sure each state has its own groups, its own user groups of people who post pictures of abandoned properties and all that kind of fun stuff. But there, I think that's good enough place to wrap up for the night. Oh no, one last thing. These lights are way too bright. So what do we got here? We got this one, and this one. So I keep forgetting. To dim these down a little bit. Little too bright in the office. Where's that one? Oh, way over there for some reason. Okay. So let's do a save. Let's hit play. You notice the ceilings, the roofs pop back into place? Because, you know, when I'm trying to place assets, you can't have the roof in the way. You can't have the ceilings in different levels in the way. But in order to see how it's actually going to look, you want the roof to be in the building. So that it's blocking the directional light we've been playing with. Okay, how does our... Okay, the collection's coming together. Not terrible. Not bad. Now those screens will be playing different videos, whether it's from within the game or from a browser source or something. Okay, and now for fun, let's change the time of day. We can directly control the sunlight now because it's toggled to us. Oh, that is hilarious. There we go. And we lock it into position. Love it. I love it. And now it moves smoothly because I changed... yeah, it moves smoothly now because I added that lerp into it. So it's not just snapping into position. I love it. I love it. All right. There, assembling our junk. Our junk in the corner there. All right. And we are going to have to call it a night. But now I'm definitely toying with the idea of sooner than later. After we get the environment done, of course, develop a little adventure game out of it. Even if it's just something that 15-20 minutes, a little episode. But you'd still be able to explore around. I mean, it would be a I don't want to say open world, but like a free explore with event triggers happening and interactions. You'd be interacting with Rusty, not playing as Rusty, unless maybe that could be a later episode. And one of the other things for other episodes of it, it'd be like an interactive version of a lore video that VTubers like to have. So you find out what happened. Why is the robot factory abandoned? Is this actually a robot factory or is this Rusty Robot's factory? So on one hand, I also do need to flesh out the backstory a bit more, make sure it flows cohesively all together. But yeah, no, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm gonna have fun with it, and that's really what matters. That's what matters for me. Am I having fun? If not, why am I doing this? And then, why am I doing this online? Am I providing entertainment for all you wonderful folk who stop by? I think, though, I do need to head out sooner than later, though. So I am probably just going to end it for the night without raiding. Because I don't really have time to stop by, I don't think. Stop by and say hi to folks. But I'll see y'all on Wednesday. Yeah, I'm running out of time tonight. Darn. Thank you all for stopping by. Hopefully see you on Wednesday, 8 p.m. as usual. Though times might be different in the next couple of weeks. But in general, Monday, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Central Time, U.S. Central Time. And yeah, next time we're going to have the hopefully, unless I mess them up, we're going to have the robot. We're going to play some more SimCity 2000. Goal is to get to current time. So I think we're in like 2005 or 6. And we got to take it to 2025 for SimCity 2000. So again, thank you all for stopping by. And take care. See y'all later.